The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contest, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/ThePodcastingDead.
At long last, the Walking Dead What Ifs are here.
Yeah. And we're in the same studio together.
We are. We're back in our old studio. I'm eating some chips, but I promise I'll try to remember to turn off my mic when I take a bite. But if you're new to the channel, I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. I think some listeners thought we were like dead this week.
I see some very concerned comments, and I want to thank everyone for their concern, of course. We've got a very dedicated fan base, and we love them all.
We love you very, very much, and no apologies for the radio silence. We had a really bad ice storm, and our jobs, that makes us 10 times busier, because if you're new to the channel, or if you hadn't been around for a while, JP and I both work in radio, and then I also work in the HVAC industry. I do sales and stuff like that, and when everybody loses their power for days on end, everybody wants a generator. So I've been just crazy busy this week. And then with the radio thing, JP's had his hands full, and I even was helping with the radio the other day. So it's just been so busy. So we hadn't been ignoring you. We hadn't been putting this off because we didn't feel like doing it. We just have been crazy busy.
Yeah, dude, it's been wild. Like you said, I'm in the radio business, also in the grocery store business. And yeah, both have just been balls to the walls.
Absolutely.
Less shoplifters in the radio business, though, which is good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But so we finally got your Walking Dead What Ifs, and we are going to discuss them. And JP, as usual, has them pulled up in front. JP, you got some good ones?
Yeah, man, there is some good stuff. The Appalachian American, of course, claims first.
He's the fastest. He's like the quick draw of the YouTube community.
He really is, dude. He really is. Ashley O'Neill's got some, let's just start off with something fun. Let's see. All right, now this is a little different from the versus scenarios we've done before. Well, I guess in a way it is. Who wins? Justin, you have Rick, Michonne, Judith, Hope, Dory. Manager is Felix. And I have Madison, Travis, Charlie, Iris, Morgan, and my manager, thank goodness, is Strand, Mr. Victor Strand. He can manage my booty all day long.
Who is my manager, though?
Your manager is Felix, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Felix, had his...
Yeah, he's all right. I almost wouldn't mind having Huck as a manager.
Yeah, Huck's
I mean, she's treacherous, but she's a beast. And I have Rick, right? Well, I win because the plot won't allow for Rick to lose.
Right. Yeah. You might be onto something there, because let's see, Madison, as far as we know, was burned and/or eaten alive. Travis, he was shot
and just randomly falls out of a helicopter.
Yeah. Charlie's still with us. Iris and Morgan. That's another badass character with.
And you have Morgan, right?
Yeah, I've got Morgan.
I think that's your wild card right there.
Yep, and Victor Strand. You never know what he's up to, but
he's just going to seduce everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to inevitably end up in the barn of pleasures. There's no doubt about it.
It's already there, brother.
Yeah, as well it should. And Ashley O'Neill's got some other cool who wins scenarios that perhaps we'll come back to. But we got a ton of questions, so. Yeah, we'll dive into some more stuff. But yeah, man, I think you would take that round. I think Rick and Michonne are pretty unstoppable when they're back to back. Assuming they don't get too amorous before the fight or something. But
I just feel like Victor Strand would just seduce us all. Why are we fighting when peace is the way?
Yeah.
Knife neck.
Right. Oh, man, let's see. Matthew Whitaker from 1 week ago.
Oh, God.
What if Morgan never found the melon Richard hid? Also, what if we went as Whispers for Halloween? God, I've always been afraid of a big group of friends as zombies for Halloween. Are you really going to tell me you wouldn't open fire if you saw a group of zombies?
No. I mean, I would have to know they were zombies.
I think I just react out of instinct, man.
I keep my distance, and then if they started and following me, they'd be like, yo, if you're real people, now's the time to say it.
Yeah.
I am armed, and I know how to dispatch zombies.
Yeah.
What was he talking about? The Richard Mellon hit? What?
Richard hit a melon?
Matt, I think I know this Matt. I think he's just full of shit. Excuse my language, YouTube.
I don't remember a melon that Morgan found. Is that like some kind of like sexual innuendo?
No, Matt, if I'm wrong and you're not just messing with us, tell me what you're talking about in the comment section. I don't know if I was wondering, like, Morgan. No, maybe he's talking about like when Morgan exposed Richard, and then strangled him.
Was there a melon involved?
I don't remember there being a melon. No,
I don't know.
Matt, elaborate, and we will answer. In 6 weeks, because we won't have Walking Dead What Ifs for the next 6 weeks, because we'll have episode reviews.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Keegan Ingle, what happened to the comic reviews? We're going to get back on them.
They died.
Yeah, and they haven't risen again, but they will. We both got some reading to catch up on, and just our schedule conflicts have, thrown a few things into disarray, but we're getting back on top of it.
JP needs to let the grocery store go.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a beautiful thing.
That's what needs to happen. Everybody encourage it in the comment section. Tell JP to let the grocery store go, and you'll get more podcasts.
I can't leave my people. I can't leave. If the Patreon blew up to like an extensive amount, then it might happen. So, yeah, put your money where your mouth is, listeners. Let me quit my job.
We only need another 4,000 a month.
Yeah, that's all.
And then he'll quit.
That's
enough
all.
to pay bills.
Yeah.
For real, if we got up to $2,000 a month, would you quit the grocery industry?
I would. I'd step down. I wouldn't be a manager anymore. I'm not saying I'd hang it up altogether, but I would cut back on my hours.
Noted. Listeners, your move.
Yeah. Let's see. The Kyle King of Trash people got 2 back-to-back. Let's see. This sounds kind of cool. What if the entire The Walking Dead series is taking place inside a giant Truman Show-like dome, with a Black Mirror twist being that everyone inside the dome is a major criminal, and this is their punishment? Ooh, there was a burp.
Oh, man.
What are the crimes our characters committed to get put through this, and how do they get out? This kind of lines up to like a WandaVision type scenario as well.
Love WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. But
I'm almost done chewing, I promise, and then I'll be done eating. I'm just starving.
Yeah, I guess the most obvious 2 answers just off the top of my head, like Merle and Daryl would probably be in there for some kind of weird drug/hate crime.
Like a drug deal gone wrong where they like killed somebody?
Yeah.
I think Rick would be in there because he was a police officer and something happened and he snapped and just killed somebody.
I could see that.
Maybe he bit a criminal's throat out. Maybe he was trying to save a child, and but yeah, I feel like Rick's crime would definitely be that that's a really cool concept, and I feel like he would have, snapped and killed someone like a criminal, while in the line of duty. What would Carol's have been? I think Carol just likes killing people.
Yeah, dude, I would say she probably murdered an abusive husband, and they just, for whatever reason, found her guilty and blah, 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 blah.
So say Michonne, I don't see Michonne being a criminal. I would say Michonne, like, vengeance murdered someone. Mm-hmm. Like, in the Walking Dead world, it's like her son was killed by, her boyfriend, the dad's negligence. So maybe, like, that happened in real life and Michonne went and murdered him.
Or, I can't remember if Michonne was a defense attorney or a prosecutor. Do you remember?
I don't neither, actually, now that you mention it. I know she was a lawyer, but
I would say that either she got someone off of a crime and they ended up going back and killing someone else and she goes vigilante and kills them, or she's a prosecutor and someone she knows is guilty gets off and she kills, something like that. I think she'd go vigilante for one reason or another involving a case she lost.
That's freaking brilliant. That's freaking brilliant. I love that. That's really good.
Or for just being too fine. She could get locked up for that.
And in the future, that could be a crime.
It very well could be.
Eugene lied and snuck into like top level government security clearance.
Yeah, I could see him like hacking into the FBI. I could see him being like an Elon Musk kind of guy,
like he hacked some servers that he wasn't supposed to and got locked away for it or something. Yeah.
Either that or like underage porn. I could also see him for something creepy like that.
Watch with Eugene's. There's no top secret clearance.
Yeah.
He just was like a serial peeping Tom. Just would peep into people's windows when they would get it on, and you just saw the top of his head.
Yeah, I could see that being the case too.
What if? Let's think. Who else though? I mean, of course, we can't go through every single character. We'd be here all night and day. But a couple of off the top of the head. We did Daryl. We did Merle. We did Rick. We did Michonne. We did Eugene. What would Carl have been in prison for?
Oh, Jesus. Let's see.
Dad, everyone tries weed, okay? I just got caught.
Oh, man.
Carl's in jail for... No, Carl, if you read the comics, it would totally make sense he's locked up in there because he straight up will murder little kids if they deserve it.
Yeah, and I mean, he got a little murder happy, in the TV show. What, like season 3 or whatever?
Yeah, so I think Carl dealing with the trauma of his dad going away, maybe that's why they was separated at first, because Rick went in first.
Yeah.
And maybe Carl, dealing with the trauma of his dad being sent away forever, went off and murdered some kid. And then I'm just going to throw Lori into the mix because I can't imagine why she would have been in there. Maybe she tried to cover it up for him and they both got sent in.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Shane, same reason as Rick, but probably Rick went off the rails and killed somebody off of emotion. Perhaps somebody killed a little child and Rick just lost it and started blasting them. I think Shane just lost his temper.
Yeah.
Like Shane is one of these cops that was caught on like somebody's cell phone beating someone half to death and got locked away for it because he lost his temper.
I could definitely see like a city getting rioted because of some shit that Shane stirred up.
Absolutely.
I could absolutely see that.
Absolutely. So that, Shane lost his cool and killed somebody. Rick killed someone, but more off of emotion and blah, blah, blah. Who else we got? Andrea, just for being stupid. They decided Andrea was too stupid to exist in society, so they threw her in this.
I could see her maybe. Well, what was she like a social worker or something?
No, well, in the
Or a
show,
lawyer?
see, they kind of took that from Michonne in a way, because in the show we haven't really. I don't remember us being told what she did in the show. Whereas she was a civil rights attorney.
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
Andrea was the civil rights attorney in the show.
That's right. That's right.
She was a bit younger in the comic, I feel. So I don't know if she,
I could see her maybe like falsifying evidence because she thought it was for the greater good or something like that.
If you want to be kind, that's fine. But I think we all know Angela. I mean, she just got locked up because Andrea. Why do I keep calling her Angela? Andrea got locked up just because she was so stupid. They were like, she's safer there around hardened criminals than society.
I could see maybe Glenn getting locked up because, like, to impress a girl, he climbed to the top of the water tower or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Dale exposed himself to too many people.
Yeah.
I'll show you what kind of man I am. And then one more. Why would Sweet Herschel, sweet, dear, sweet, beautiful Herschel, why would he be in there with them?
He got drunk and shot somebody in a bar fight or something. I don't know.
It could be it, because we know Herschel, when he first, it is funny to watch his turn in character, because once they kill, because, they never intended for Dale to die that early, and Dale was the voice of reason. Herschel was the crotch, because in the comics, Herschel was a crotchety old asshole at times.
He could be.
He really wasn't the voice of reason that to the extent I feel like he was in the show. So, but once Dale's character, the guy that played Dale, wanted to leave the show and they had to kill him off, they had to switch gears with Herschel and turn him into the sweet old man. But, he's got his bad ways. So, yeah, maybe I imagine more, though, just because we've had people shoot people. I'm going to say with Herschel, I imagine he got drunk and got in a car accident and killed somebody or something.
Okay, I can see that too. Involuntary manslaughter.
But awesome little thought experiment there. I like that one.
Yeah, that is cool. And
I like them all, but I like that one a lot.
Yeah. And Kyle's got another good one. We'll see if we can circle back towards the end. Moving on to UV, or Yuv York, as they're going by these days. What if Rick was in Breaking Bad and he came to New Mexico to help Hank and the DEA throughout the whole show? Would he be a threat to anyone like the Salamancas, Walter, Jesse, Gus, the cartel? Would he survive? We all know Rick is a great leader. Would he be good enough to shut the drug game down alongside Hank?
No.
You don't think
No, because Rick became the badass he is without law.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Rick Grimes, and in the comics he explains that he really wasn't much of a cop. He was a cop, but he never even fired his gun at anybody. Cop, just very no action. But no, I don't think Rick playing by the rules would have survived, or been that. I'm not gonna say he wouldn't. I'm not gonna say he wouldn't be useful because he's smart, but he wouldn't have been. Rick didn't shine until the law was stripped away and the real him was allowed to come out, which took a few seasons. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, he would definitely take some toughening up if he just went straight from being, Andy Griffith down there in Georgia or whatever to, fighting the cartel and everything in New Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, we're still having to obey laws and just without all of the trauma he went through that made him the beast he was, I don't think he would have been the man for the job.
Yeah, man. Now, I think it would be interesting, like, say, if Rick was in the position that Walter was in, finds out he's got cancer, really no other choice than to break bad, make sure his family's provided for, all that stuff.
We're making meth, Daryl.
I'm just interested in doing the meth, but all right.
Well, old Daryl would have been like, don't got to tell me twice.
Yeah,
Woo! My brother's going to love you.
Yeah. Oh, man. But, yeah, that's...
Shut up and cook, Daryl.
God, can you imagine that? Like Rick is Walt and Daryl is Jesse Pinkman. Now that'd be an interesting show.
It's science, bitch.
Yeah. Oh man, God. Then you got. God, I wonder who would be like Skinny Pete and Badger.
Glenn would totally be Skinny Pete.
Yeah.
Badger, it would be Eugene.
Okay, I could see that. I could totally see that, dude.
Just a dumbed down Eugene, because I feel like Eugene would tell him how to cook the meth better.
Yeah. Oh man, that needs to be a T-shirt. Let's get on top of that. Moving on to some more cool crossover action. Stefan Miller. What if the Wildling army versus the Whisperers? Who would win? Which side would you choose and why?
The Wildlings would destroy.
Dude.
Oh no! Wait. Well. Still, no, the Wildlings would destroy them. At first, I was thinking about White Walkers. I was like, you can't walk among them.
Yeah, they would just use the dead against them. But no,
the
Wildlings. Oh, they would tear.
Yeah, I think the Wildlings would. I mean, they had giants and stuff too, man. I mean, Beta's a big boy, but compared to the giants.
And plus, they're just warriors born, I mean, they've lived they're born in the rough. They're where the Whisperers were just thrown into that world. And,
yeah, I refuse to believe Tormund would fall to any of the Whisperers.
Oh, dude, he would.
I love Tormund. He's one of my favorite characters.
Beta, come on.
Oh yeah, it'd be a quick fight.
Yeah, Beta would be done.
Beta knows how to kill innocent people who are terrified of him. He hadn't had to go up against. He did go up against one warrior, Daryl. Yeah. And look what happened. He got his ass whooped first time and then just taken out quick the second time. So, no, Beta versus Tormund, it'd have been game over.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I almost feel like, what was her name? Ingrid? Which was the one that Jon Snow fell in love with?
I think that's her name.
I know nothing, Jon Snow. But, I even feel like she'd give him a run for the money.
Oh, yeah, dude. They wouldn't stand a chance. No chance in hell. But good stuff, and Stefan's got a lot of other good stuff. But like I said, we're going to hit everybody at least once and then see what's good. Siggy, what if Negan and the governor changed places, and the governor would be the one who deals with Alpha? Would he be able to deal with her like Negan did? If not, what would happen, or what would he do? Also, thanks for the kind words. Have a good day.
I hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you for your kind comment.
So the governor is.
I feel like we've done this somewhat before, though. Like the governor and Negan have switched. You know what I mean? Like
I
in
think
somewhat.
We've played with the idea a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like we've done a swap, but I don't think we've done the how would he handle Alpha type thing.
Do you think the governor would be able to knock socks with Alpha?
Oh, I think the governor would. I think they would have some ferocious sex. Like the governor would get to where he's like spitting and just like his like crazy side, and Alpha would just be like, "This is the man I need." And,
yep.
They would make nasty, nasty, sweet love in the middle of the woods day after day, and then I think that they would rule the Walking Dead world together.
Probably
naked,
so.
both naked.
Yeah, and the governor wouldn't have. I don't think he would have done Carol's whole like undercover thing and eventually killed. He would have totally seized power with Alpha.
There was no redeeming. The governor actually had like almost borderline mental illness when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess his trauma or whatever, however, maybe it's just who he always was, but he was just a straight psychopath.
Yeah.
Whereas Negan wasn't really so much a psychopath as it was his view of things, and he was a little bit of an egomaniac. But I mean, strip all those away, and underneath is someone who can change, whereas the governor is just a slave to his urges.
Yeah.
So, I think the governor would have just been like, why, sure, Carol, I'd be happy to go out there and take care of that alpha lady. And it's like 1 hour later, and it's like, call me daddy. Call me daddy. I am the new alpha.
There would have been no slow seduction. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he would have ruled the Whisperers with Alpha. And like I said, they would have just wandered around naked because they scrump so much in this fantasy that I'm creating that they don't even put clothes on anymore. Because what's the point? They might just do it at any point.
Right. Yeah.
So they're just walking around wearing masks and nothing else.
Oh man.
Maybe I need to get my head checked.
Let's see. We got let's give a shout out to Flugplaws or Flugplaz.
Hey.
Awesome patron, who good patron buddy.
We love you. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Just showing us a little love in the comments section. Love to you. HC.
I'm making a heart with my fingers right now.
Oh yeah, that's a big one too.
Y'all. I have big hands.
He's going straight Sharon Osbourne on us. Negan is my favorite, but still, I think he should take the place of Rick's death from the comics. He is one of the main characters now, and it would be cool to see someone kill him like Rick in the comics, because there always has to be someone who hates Negan no matter what he will do.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I would love it if him and Maggie started getting... they really could use Maggie in this and start, kind of give Maggie. I think they're going to go that route with like Daryl, or I feel like Daryl will have to kill Negan if it comes down to it. Daryl, I feel like it'll be reversed. I don't feel like Negan will get Rick's death, though. I agree. I would love to see Negan start taking some of Rick's arc, but I feel like Daryl is going to kind of be the ambassador to the unless they make it like Aaron. Aaron, by all means, would be the best suited. He can be a beast, but he's also very civilized, and he showers, unlike Daryl.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll get Daryl will be the ambassador to the Commonwealth, and then Negan is going to kind of take Dwight's place in the comics, and Negan's going to be the one to be like, I could just see a line where Negan's telling Daryl or yelling at Pamela like, look, I used to do this shit to people on the regular. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Like, I know what you're doing. And kind of like lose his mind. And Daryl, I feel like that's how he'll die. And then I feel like I don't know if anybody will get Rick's comic death. I mean, I can't imagine them killing Daryl at any point in the show.
Well, no, especially since we know he's getting a spinoff, which I guess could technically be a prequel series, but
yeah, like filler, but in that little gap where we left him and come back.
Yeah, I don't want to see Negan die, because I would love to see some Negan stuff after the series is done.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, I mean, that does make the most sense. And I think, what's his name will probably be done with the franchise at the end of the series.
Who,
anyway.
Norman Reedus?
No.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, I think he jumped on. I think he's enjoyed it, but I think he's got plenty of other things he wants to do, versus, whereas Norman Reedus is just like, I'm riding it out, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
When I don't blame him, it's a steady paycheck. It's a popular show. Why not? He'll forever be able to go to Comic Cons for free. Because he is Norman, he's Daryl Dixon. He will forever be paid by Comic Cons to make an appearance.
Oh, dude, I guarantee if he goes the William Shatner route, you'll end up paying like $100 for an autograph, a photo.
Oh, absolutely. So no, I mean, I think he's just doing the financially, and I really do think too. It's not even just money. I think that Norman Reedus is just super invested into this show. You know what I mean? Well, on a level that a lot of the other actors we've seen haven't been. Like I think a lot of them have given us their all. But at the end of the day, they're kind of like, yeah, I'm cool with walking away. It was fun. It was a good time, and I have nothing but love for it. But I want to do other things. Whereas I think Norman Reedus is just like 100% in it to win it.
Yeah, man. You got to think for most of these actors, this is their big break, and they want to use it to jump off to something bigger and better.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Norman Reedus's big break, I guess, was
Boondock Saints.
And after that, you didn't really see much of him. So he's just like, look, I've been to the top of the mountain. I fell back down. Now I'm back on top, and I'm staying here. Ain't nobody pushing me off.
I agree. I don't blame him.
Yeah, God bless him. Look, it's at the end of the day, it's all about that cheddar. Here's another UV pop back up, and this is a pretty cool one. I know my answer. I have a feeling what yours may be because we've talked about it a little bit. Do you guys think that 2008 Incredible Hulk is better than the current MCU Hulk? I love the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Well, that was UV.
That was UV.
Well, UV, guess what? You got a friend in me because I agree 100%. I think I've told JP many, many a times that I liked Edward Norton's Hulk better than Mark Ruffalo's.
Oh, dude, I love it so much more. And that's one of my favorite MCU movies. It might weigh down my top 5. It's definitely up there. I remember seeing it in theaters. I loved Edward Norton's Hulk.
He was a perfect Bruce Banner.
He was great, man. I love the parallels with like the old TV show from the 70s. I thought it was great.
Yeah, we're with you, UV. Yeah. By far, if there was one thing I could change, you'd be like Edward Norton. Just go with what they want. There's a very bright future in this franchise for you.
Yeah, and I hate we didn't get a follow up to that. It is kind of cool though with the She-Hulk series. We're going to see the Abomination return. Yeah, and it'll be Timothy Roth. So that's pretty cool.
And it's like with Edward Norton's Hulk, man, just to see Edward Norton on screen with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Paul Rudd, all of that would have been awesome.
It would have been, but it is what it is. But yeah, UV. Let's see, Jonas Belilli popping up.
He's been making some little like video podcasts and stuff on his Facebook too. It's been really good. I've enjoyed those.
You have to show me that. Let's see, got some good ones here. All right, let's jump into fear a little bit. Since we want Madison to return next season,
yes, we do.
Who would we have die in exchange to get Madison back? A, Victor Strand. No, I'll just go ahead and say it. No. B, Alicia. C, Cowboy Morgan.
Alicia. If I had to pick one, I'd go with Alicia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to lose Strand. Cowboy Morgan's just turned into a super badass. A couple seasons ago, I'd been like, yeah, Morgan.
I'm not going to lie. Honestly, I would pick Strand because I like Alicia. I think some of the stuff they've done with her is stupid, but I like her. And I mean, I hate to sound like a chauvinist here, but she's not bad to look at on screen either. I'm attracted to her in the way that you're attracted to Victor Strand. So
I understand.
JP's main reason for not wanting Victor Strand gone is because JP just finds him incredibly hot. I feel the same way about Alicia, but I mean, realistically, I would probably say I'm cool with Strand going out in some redeeming way to bring Madison back. But for the sake of my dear friend JP's tender heart, I'm going to say I'll vote for Alicia.
There you go. And you still got Luciana. She's pretty hot.
I mean, yeah, but she's not Alicia.
No. And we got a couple more from Jonas, so sit tight, my friend. Dwight Schrute 1 week ago. Shane versus Maggie and Rosita. Hand-to-hand combat, 1 versus 2. So we got a handicap match.
Shane versus Maggie and Rosita?
Maggie and Rosita taking on Shane and
he's
not
gone.
in the bedroom. You think Rosita would make sure?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, Maggie would just more or less. I mean, I don't think Maggie's weak by any means, but I mean, I've never seen an example of her being a badass hand-to-hand combatant. But I mean, if anything, she'd distract him while Rosita choked him out or something. I mean, Rosita hung in there with Beta, who I think Beta would have beat Shane, which we don't ever know. We don't know what kind of a beast Shane would have became. So all I can compare it to is the last we saw of Shane, which was season 2 Shane. I don't think season 2 Shane could have taken Beta. Yeah. So the fact that Rosita hung in there with him the way she did, I think her with having Maggie to kind of distract him a little bit, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean, Maggie could weaponize her sexuality, which we know is a big weakness of Shane's.
Just stood over in the corner, just with her shirt off, and Shane would have been like, damn. Yeah. And then Rosita's like, snap, you did.
Done dealio.
You did.
But good stuff, Mr. Schrute. We got our good friend, longtime listener, Eternal Wreck, who, by the way, man, hope you're doing good down there in Texas.
I know, man. No kidding. Yeah, I honestly forgot that he lived in Texas, man. I hope everything's all right. Let us know you're okay.
Yeah, I bet he's been firing up that grill a lot, though. He's always posting stuff with the grill, and I'm sure it's coming in handy now.
I think 90% of the time I go out and cook on the grill, it's because I've seen his Snapchat at some point. And I'm like, you know what? I want a grill.
Dude, he did a freaking a tombstone pizza or something on there once I saw on his Snap. I was like, damn,
oh yeah,
I'll try that now. But anyway, Eternal Wreck saying, what if that flu from the prison never killed as many survivors? Could the group have had better chances fighting the governor? And what would you think if after? Well, we'll go ahead and address that. And then
Absolutely, Eternal Rick. I think we've mentioned before that we would have loved to have seen an alternate reality where half of the prison crew wasn't dead when they got attacked or weakened. You know. Yep. Yeah, I absolutely think the fight would. I mean, I'm not. The governor really didn't have, but like off the top of my head, 2 experienced fighters with him. He had the chick that Tara was with. And then he had Tank Guy, the one that talked like this. Yeah. Couldn't stand him. Those were the only 2, combat people that he had. Everybody else was no different than the people at the prison, just civilians that were armed. So, I definitely think the fight would have went differently. I'm not going to necessarily say the prison would have won because they had a tank.
Right.
Governor had a tank. So, but I do think it would have evened the playing field out a little bit.
Yeah, it would have. Moving back into some fear, what would you think if after the Fear the Walking Dead group deals with Virginia and her group, will Morgan convince them to follow him to Virginia? Adding to that, they discover that Madison's alive before getting out of Texas, dragging her along as well. So basically, they dispatch Jenny and her group, and then Morgan convinces everyone to go up to Virginia, and Madison's along for the ride.
Madison's just going along with Virginia?
Well, going to Virginia. We're talking about
I thought you were talking about the actress. Like
no,
going,
no.
Oh, the character.
I knew it was going to get confusing. Yeah,
okay.
They they're done with Virginia and the Pioneer Group and all that stuff. And
right.
Yeah.
No, I'd be a happy camper. I would love the thought that Madison's getting ready to cross over into I'd be thrilled that Victor Strand and that whole crew is getting ready to cross over.
Yeah, dude. I think it'd be a beautiful thing.
I think it's sad to think about, though, because in reality, they couldn't cross them all over because it's already too many characters on that show for the writers to keep up with. And I'm not going to say it's too many characters on the show because Game of Thrones had a huge cast and each felt like you knew them. They had their own stories and it was awesome. Whereas The Walking Dead here lately has done some great writing, but they just don't seem to fare as well with giving characters their time. It's like they focus on a few and then the rest are just kind of there at times. So, you really would have to, that's my what if to you, JP, if you could only pick 3 characters from Fear the Walking Dead to cross over to The Walking Dead, who are they going to be? And we already know one's Victor Strand.
Yeah, man. I think it'd be cool to see if it's only 3, I definitely want to see the OGs like Strand, Madison, Alicia, but I also want to see Daniel in there too.
I also want to see Cowboy Morgan cross over.
Yeah.
Can we just not? He's not in the runnings because I feel bad if I leave him out. But I mean, he kind of is like Schrodinger's cat. He exists in 2 realities. He's technically part of the Walking Dead crew. He crossed over, so we'll say he doesn't count. He gets immunity. He's automatically coming over. Mine would be Strand, Daniel, and Madison. That would be my 3 I'd want to see crossover.
Yeah, I'd be right. Like I said, it's hard for me to decide between Daniel and Alicia. I definitely want to see Strand and Madison up there. And, Madison and Alicia have been separated for so long. You almost hate to, not keep them together. So.
I'd almost like to see Alicia and Rosita team up together. Because I feel like they're I think Rosita in real life might be a little bit older, but I feel like they kind of both remind me of each other.
Yeah.
I think Rosita's a bit more of a badass, but Alicia has the heart of a badass. And if she had the proper training and stuff, she could absolutely be on par with Rosita. So, I'd like to see them team up.
Yeah, Alicia just needs to run across her very own Abraham Ford to teach her in the ways of many things. And to cap it off, Eternal Rec is loving WandaVision just as much as we are.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Oh, dude, without a doubt. Allie Smith, in one of the trailers for the new episode starting on February 28th, there's a water tower to the left of Aaron. Oh, she even provides a link, and there's some comic spoilers. What if Gabriel's comic death will be happening in the next few episodes, whether it's Gabriel, Aaron, or a different character getting it? If you had to choose, which character would you like to see get that death?
That'd be cool with Alden.
Yeah, I'm not especially attached to Alden. I mean, honestly, I'd like to just have him stick with Gabriel.
I feel like Gabriel, again, man, I won't go into it, but I just feel like Gabriel should have died in a badass final stand with the Whisperers when they charged the room. I think that was a great wrap up to his arc. He was born into the show an absolute pansy, and he went out like an absolute champ. taking at least 2, because he had 2 shotgun shells. So he went out taking out at least a couple of Whisperers with him before he died. And, I mean, I'm a sucker for story arcs like that, man. I love when somebody starts off with these very almost unforgivable qualities, and then they go out, or the character arc ends with them just being the opposite. And Gabriel, they really had a missed opportunity there for that to be a memorable, badass death. To be like, man, he was such a little bitch in the beginning.
Yeah, man, that's really what was missing from the last episode of The Walking Dead,
Well, it'd have been heavy, because I like Father Gabriel. So it's like it's not on that Daryl, Carol, Rick level death, but at the same time, you're like, oh, man, my boy went out like a champ.
Yeah. But, maybe Allie is right. Maybe we'll see that in the episodes to come. Time will tell. Michael Scott. What if Rick tried to keep Maggie under his leadership after season 8 and didn't let her be the leader of Hilltop? Man, that'd be weird. I don't see Rick really being that kind of leader.
Putting down like the Iron Fist.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be very much against character for Rick.
Hey, he said it. It's not a democracy anymore.
That's true, man. He could go back to the Rick-tatorship.
We're going back to full-blown communism.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Maggie would have totally... Because, I still think that scene after the credits of we're going to bide our time, and then we're going to show Rick. I hate it. And Daryl's like, yeah, we are. And, of course, Jesus is in the chair like, y'all realize, like, I'm not in on this. I'm just kind of here.
Yeah.
But I feel like she would have led a rebellion against Rick.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Rick is now being dictator, putting you under a Rick-tatorship. And he's keeping the man who killed your husband alive. Mm-hmm. And Maggie would just be like, screw it.
Yeah,
just burn that bridge and take this bad boy over.
Yeah, it would have been another all-out war at that point. So.
Yup.
Yeah, and she probably would have had King Ezekiel on her side. I think he would have sided with her probably.
I just can't imagine him wanting to go into any more battles. Not one.
Yeah.
No, literally everybody died but one. Well, you and our boy Jerry, but like everybody in your crew died.
Yeah, it was not pretty. It was definitely not pretty.
I remember that scene, man. That was great. It's horrible, but it was awesome. Not but one, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff, Michael Scott. Now we're moving on to Jim Halpert, and let's see. This is kind of going beyond the realm a little bit. What if John Cena versus The Undertaker in the Ruthless Aggression era? That's like early 2000s, right after the Attitude Era. Who would win? Not the crappy ass WrestleMania 34 squash. I didn't see the WrestleMania 34, but
wrestling, man. I no offense. I love you. Who asked that question?
Jim Halpert.
Jim Halpert. I love you, Jim, but I have not watched wrestling since like the 90s, so I am no good in any of that.
Yeah, and that was kind of towards the. It was towards the end of the Ruthless Aggression era when I kind of fell off. So, because like I remember when John Cena first was getting started, was still doing the rap and stuff, and I think The Undertaker, that was like right after the American Badass like phase. I think he was back to being the dead man. I could see The Undertaker, taking a fall to boost up a new young guy, because unless you're like Hulk Hogan or one of these dudes with a massive ego, most of these older guys are happy to kind of help move up the younger generation, to
I watched the Undertaker on Hot Ones, that show where they eat hot wings and they interview.
I didn't see that, but I saw he was on there.
I love that show. That dude, I'm gonna tell you, somebody who has made a career out of interviewing people and doing things like this. The guy that hosts that show, and forgive me for not knowing his name, I should. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, man. He is an incredible interviewer. Like, he asks some really, and I'm sure he asks people help him, but his delivery and the questions he asks each guest are fantastic.
Yeah, man, it's a good show.
But The Undertaker seemed like a really cool dude on that. Like, watching that, he seemed like a pretty rad, like, down-to-earth guy. So I could totally see him doing what you're saying, like getting older and just being kind of like, yeah, I've had my time in the sun. It's, I'm just happy to let somebody else get the glory.
Yeah, man, and that's what he's done for a lot of guys. Which, anyway, I didn't get down the wrestling rabbit hole, and I haven't kept up with it for many years myself. I still like to read about it here and there and kind of see what's going on, but
keep up with it a little bit.
A little bit. Let's see here. Drekos. I imagine they're okay. That's yeah. It was due in large part to the inclement weather. Grecos. Ashley O'Neill, definitely concerned. Okay, so now we're just skipping into people asking where we is.
People thinking we were dead.
But right before we got to that, and thank you for your concern, Stefan Miller said, "What if Negan forced the entire lineup group to live with the Saviors instead of going back to Alexandria after the death of Glenn and Abe, similar to what's going on with Virginia in Fear, or what happened with the ranch in season 3 of Fear? In this scenario, Gregory and Spencer would be the leaders of Alexandria and Hilltop."
Oh, man.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
They would fall in line.
Yeah.
Because they were both bitches.
Oh, yeah, they definitely would fall in line.
I love the episode where Spencer lost his guts, man. Like, having read the comic and, like, you knew that was coming. It was executed so freaking well, man. Jeffrey Dean Morgan just killed that. The writing on, like, all, as a comic fan, talking about, like, moments from comic to page. That's something I would love for us to do when we have the time. Do, like, a top 10 best page to show. Oh, yeah. You know, like, which moments in the show that were lifted right out of the comics did we think they did the best? And one of them would definitely be the Glenn death was phenomenal because it was just like the comic. Yeah. But, you know, Spencer's death was one of my favorites, too, just because of how faithful it was to the comics. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan nailed it. It was awesome. It was really, really good. Okay, well, let's go back. Here's one UV had left a few spots down the list. There's this character. His name is Mike Banning from the Fallen movies. His fighting style is kind of like the Punisher's, where he has to protect the president. Well, that's really not a question. Have you seen the Fallen movies? Me neither. Well, we'll look into that, UV. Maybe we'll have to watch them and come back and revisit.
Yeah, UV also says we should watch the Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen and all those movies. Yeah,
I'd like to check those out. I just had never gotten around to those.
Okay, well, let's go back down here to check out Jonas Belilli. What if the virus in the walkers mutate in the Rick Grimes movie to a point where they can communicate with each other to a small capacity, but as time moves on, they get better at communicating? That's kind of the storyline of the was it Land of the Dead that Romero did towards the end?
I remember yeah,
because like they basically did start, their cognitive function started to improve, and you know they could kind of communicate a little bit, and so yeah, I mean that'd be crazy, that'd be wild.
I know that he never did it in the comic, but I do think some evolution of the zombies would have been a nice twist for the show, just something new to spice it up. You know what I mean? Like almost give us a White Walker, Game of Thrones feel, just something out of nowhere.
Right.
You know, I would have loved that. I mean, it didn't have to be anything crazy, but just like you said, they start communicating, maybe coordinating. Any of that would have been great.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think someone needs to do that in some zombie franchise, aside from what Romero did, because, you know, his last few movies were very kind of
bad.
Hidden, yeah.
I think it would have been cool, like, and I know they didn't because the comics, even people that didn't read the comics knew about the Whispers, but man, if the Whispers were like an original enemy for the show and never existed in the comic, I think it would have been so cool to have written an entire season, or at least a half a season, where you are thinking the zombies are evolving. Like, why are they attacking the way they are, and they're hitting critical outposts, and are the zombies alive? And then the twist is you find that there are people wearing the masks and leading. You know what I mean? It would have been a cool kind of like, what the hell kept you on the edge? And I'm sure some people would have been like, oh, man, that sucks. It was just people. But I think it would have been a cool, like, keep you guessing story arc.
Here's another good one from Jonas. What if Huck treks her way to Alexandria with evidence of Rick Grimes locked up, but the first person she informs is Negan? How would he react? You think he'd go on a Rick rescue mission?
I do. I think I don't know if he would go on the rescue mission, but I definitely think he would get the information who it needed to be to. I mean, he's done everything he can to show his loyalty, and like, you know, in the comics at this point, you know, you kind of wondered, was Negan ever? But Negan had the opportunity to reclaim the Saviors at one point in the comics and didn't take it. He had a chance to lock Rick outside and let him get eaten by walkers, and he didn't take it. I mean, Negan, once he started going on that righteous path, I mean, he stuck to his guns. So I would like to think that's kind of where they're going in the show with him. So, no, I absolutely think that he would, you know, or, yeah, you're right. What Negan might do is just go off alone after Rick
I could see
so that
happening.
he could be the one to bring him back. And then he would have everybody's trust. You know, not only did he rescue Rick, but, you know.
So, I mean, most people don't want him around at this point anyway. So, yeah, what better thing to do? You know, I mean, how cool would that be if him and Judith go off on like a, you know, stepdad, daughter kind of, you know, like rescue mission?
And thank goodness she's not like Disney Channel at this point anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I would imagine Rick would be pretty pissed when he saw that Negan like has his daughter like
What
in
the
this
hell?
government base. But that would be cool, man. Then like Negan and Judith hook up with Michonne, who's already tracking Rick and all that stuff. So yeah, that could actually be a pretty cool storyline.
I think so, for sure.
Let's see. Stefan Miller has got some good ones. Oh wow, what if Lori went on the supply run with Otis instead of Shane? Would she have sacrificed him as well to save Carl? Would she have succeeded? If she did, would this have made her character more interesting, and how would this have changed the story?
Well, I mean, to be honest, if Shane and Otis would have just kept going, they would have gotten away from the walkers. So maybe Lori would have been like, why would I shoot him? We're already ahead of the crowd of walkers. We ain't like they cut us off or anything. Let's just keep going forward. Eventually we'll get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, there was really no reason to shoot Otis.
I mean, I know Shane's leg was hurting, but he did just fine.
Yeah. I mean, they were not like you said. It's not like they were trapped or anything.
Yeah, so no, I think Lori and Otis would have just kept hobbling along and eventually came back to the farm and be like, well, that was fun. Thank goodness I didn't have to kill anybody.
Right, yeah. I think Shane was just like, well, this guy's pretty overweight and food rations are probably going to get pretty tight, so might as well just bite the bullet now.
And I'm still pretty mad that Rick's back with Lori. I'm going to take it out on his kneecap. Bam!
Yeah. So, yeah.
Like, do you think when he went to shoot him, like, in Shane's mind, he saw Rick's face on Otis's kneecap, and he was like, I'm doing her, Shane. Laura says I do it better.
Oh, man. Stefan got some more good stuff. What if the characters of Justin and JP were in the Walking Dead universe as members of the Saviors and were trapped in a room with Rick and Morgan? Rick gives you a deal to go back with them and live in the communities or continue as a Savior. Would you take Rick's deal or try to go back to Negan and Simon and win the war? In this scenario, you are one of the Saviors who Henry freed from the cell during the war in Hilltop.
Hell, I'm taking Rick up.
So are we not like saviors in the sense that we're like on that upper level with Negan, or like?
I'm imagining if we were the ones caught, we were under like Simon's command, so we were just kind of lower tier saviors.
Yeah, but we probably still have it pretty cush, man. I don't know, man. That grass ain't always as green. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I guess it comes down to who, like in that instance, you would have to decide for yourself who is more likely to win this war.
Yeah, oh yeah, you'd have to go with, yeah, absolutely.
So,
just decide you're going to go with the winners, which by all appearances, it probably would have looked like Negan was going to win. So
Yeah.
might would have just stuck with Negan.
Yeah, man, you got
You're trying to bribe us? I'm going to tell on you.
Yep.
Name it, Negan, Simon.
So yeah, I think I would have just stayed put with my boy Negan.
Yep.
Let's see. UV down here, you of York. I'm assuming you know Tom Brady. If you don't, ... Tom Brady,
The greatest quarterback of our time. Yes, continue.
Right, football guy. For reals though, what if he was in the apocalypse in Atlanta during season 1 and Rick found him in the same tank Rick was in? If Tom frickin' Brady would Rick recognize him, and would he take him in? How would everyone react? How would Negan react? Note this is in 2010, so Tom is not in his 40s.
Well, I mean, in the comic,
Rick recognized Tyrese as
Tyrese played football, and he wasn't the star. He wasn't the Tom Brady level at football. I think he played like a few years and got hurt, but I mean, so I think he would absolutely recognize Tom Brady, and I don't think in the apocalypse, I mean, I think, of course, it's like, oh, shit, is that Tom Brady? Mm-hmm. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, well, I'll still throw him in front of walkers if I have to survive, you know.
Yeah, dude, if it comes down to who's going to be eaten alive, Tom Brady or not, You know, they can choke on that Super Bowl ring. I ain't gonna get.
I think they would be a little starstruck, but I think Rick would have definitely tried to save him because season 1 Rick was always trying to save somebody.
If you could throw like one celebrity cameo into The Walking Dead, like they run into an actual like James
celebrity
Franco
playing themselves.
Yeah. Who do you think you'd throw in there?
James Franco would be hilarious.
That would be
to be
fun.
like playing himself.
Yeah.
Let's see, a celebrity playing him. John Cena's always been kind of funny. No, I don't. I think John Cena would be funny as John Cena, but
yeah,
The Rock playing The Rock.
Yeah. Frick, God, I can't think of his name.
And I'm not going off of like their acting ability, like I'm just going by like someone who I think would be funny as hell playing themselves.
Yeah,
like The Rock's just on an alley, just tossing these walkers like they're nothing.
Oh, dude. Hugh Jackman, just because he's so versatile, he's got a background in musical theater. It'd be great to see him just kind of bust into a song in the middle of a battle or something.
I agree. But great questions, man. Yeah. We've had some good ones.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so many great questions from so many great listeners, and we love them all.
Well, hey, we appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for your questions. I would say leave some more, and you can. But remember, we're not going to be doing what ifs for another 6 weeks because we're going to be doing episode reviews. If we have time, we'll try and throw in some what ifs. But I don't want to guarantee that because it's already busy enough as it is, and we're going to be scrambling to make sure we get these episode reviews done. So, I mean, some of them may be done via phone, so you just might have to bear with us here. But nonetheless, thank you for The Walking Dead What Ifs. We love you, and we'll see you very soon. Don't forget to check out our Patreon for extra podcasts and extra content. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.